It's Week 17 of the National Football League. All eyes are on Jamar Chase. He's danced around coverages all year to the tune of 1,400 receiving yards so far. It's the Bengals and the Bills under the lights on Monday night.
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. We welcome everybody again alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn and CD. We've got an interesting test here today. One of the league's best passing games and one of the best pass defenses set to square up and see who can perform better in a high-profile matchup.
And you and I talk about all the time how fortunate we are to be in this position, to be around these types of games. And as jacked up as these fans are, how about these two teams? They've been looking forward to testing themselves against what is considered the best on the other side. This is going to be a lot of fun, a very exciting battle headed our way.
About ready to get us going. And off we go to wrap up a busy weekend of football. From the 6. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. The numbers for Mixon last week, 12 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
And he has 12 touchdowns on the ground this season, so you know it's a big part of their offense. They count on it, not only to score the touchdowns, but now they can play action, fake it to him, throw it out to the wide receivers, get it to other players who can also produce.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So now the Cincinnati native, also former Bearcat, and now a Bengal, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now it's Crowder. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads. Everything in between. He's an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw, it's Allen. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. The Bills at 11-4 now on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that can ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Right back to Singletary on second down. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Allen. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Allen. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Jamison Crowder with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They snapped that at 1. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that's incomplete. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Back deep, Trent Taylor. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Burrow looking to pass. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 3rd and 2, now Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he goes out right around the 39. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal 1st down.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3 and out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the 1st down.
1st down, here's Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip, and I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect. The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 35. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of...
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Evan McPherson for the extra point.
Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. And the Bills getting set to go.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing now is Allen. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
7-7, our score after 1. The Bills with Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go right back to Singletary. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the 1st, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Here's Matt Ariza now. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. and that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
78 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Throwing now, Burrow on first down.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
On 2nd and inches, Burrow.
Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow.
Quick slant caught by Chase.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Burrow on play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Micah Hyde comes flying in from safety for the sack.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better, had time to survey the field, and still couldn't find an open receiver.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And meanwhile, Allen's throw here taken in by Knox.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job And then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. From just shy of midfield, Allen. And this is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To the air, Allen. And that is incomplete.
Adam Rising now on to punt this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offense.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll give this to Singletary running right. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9.
Singletary again. A beautiful fake. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Singletary going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Singletary. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Cook.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football, but on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will knot us up at 10.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. B.J. Hill in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. All tied up at 10. 2 minutes left in the first half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Allen's throw taken in there by Crowder.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
No surprise to see a sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
This will be caught just inside the 10.
From the 9, 2nd and 5.
Here's Allen to throw it. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd.
And they're going to have a first down and also well into field goal range, all the way down to the 15 here.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And that one is still scoreless as they play in the second quarter. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Buffalo in that first half. And there's not much to speak of in terms of passing efficiency. But in a tie game, they know a few tweaks could make a big difference going forward. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game.